Alright, so this TV here is going up on that wall over there. Let's put it up. Alright, so first I typically put these on the back of the TV. These hook onto the part that goes onto the wall. So I typically swap these out, but these are actually some good quality screws, so I'm just reusing what came with the TV already. But I typically swap them out depending on how they look. So these holes gotta line up. So they gotta be the same on both sides. Or if not, the TV gonna be crooked. I put in a second hole on that side. I'll put this on the second hole. Now typically you're not supposed to use a drill when you putting these onto the back of the TV. But I know how to control it, so I kind of like take it easy when I'm going in. I don't just slam it in. You got it. It's like a... Alright, so these on. So the next step I do is I typically measure. I measure from the top of the TV to the top of this hook right here. And I measure from the top of the TV to the bottom of the TV. Get two measurements. So my first measurement is roughly 28 3/4, and the TV stops at 43. So 28 3/4 and 43. So what I typically do is, my memory not that good. Sometimes I take and write it down on something. So 28.75 at 43. That's our number. Next, we're gonna measure the wall. So you can do it two ways. I could either use the tape measure or I use my digital tape measure. For a wall, I typically use this digital tape measurement. So we at 42 and 3, no, 95 and 9/16. 95 and a half actually. So we gotta get the halfway point. So we divide 95 and a half. Alright, half of 95 and a half is 47.75. So 47.75 is 47 3/4. That's our middle point. $47.75. So I always like put like a C here for the center, and I notice it's the center point. So after that, our numbers was 28.75. So now, once we got the center point of the wall, it's time to find out where the stud is. So I got the stud finder here, so slide it across. I have a stud right here. I have a stud here. There's something here. As long as I got a stud this center right here, and I should have another stud right here. So I got two studs. So I'm not going to be able to put it into two studs because of the spacing of it. So now we know where the studs are. Let's measure the height of the TV. Where I do my tape measure? Alright, so in order to get the height of the TV, I typically use an 85 inch. Let's see how it looks up here. The top of the TV would be the top of the measurement. Oops. The bottom of the TV is 43. So I made this mistake. That's why it's good to use a pencil. So it's such a big TV, you might go a little bit higher. So the top of the TV will be here, and the bottom of the TV will be here. It's a big TV. and the other measurement was 28.75. Remember that number. That's where the TV is going to hook on at. So this is where I put the mount at. So the top of the TV be up here, bottom TV here, and the TV is going to hook right here. And now that we know where the TV is going to hook at, we know the stud is right here. So I'm going. Now, out of the mount box, typically when you get a new mount, it comes with a template. Alright, now that I got the template, what I do is take the template, put the center of the template right here. So now that we only got, hold up. So now that I got this up, I'm putting these are called toggle bolts. Put two of them up, one of them in here. You pretty much push it in, pull it tight. I'm gonna make a video on how these actually work, but it's pretty much you can mount anything to drywall. And you got the two, this is a stud right here, so I don't need that. So now I take these are called like leg bolts. I use that.
The other TV. Okay, I see that.
Alright, so as long as you hear that noise, I'm going through a stud. And I take these and put these on the end. These just screw into that, and then when it gets closer together, it locks onto the drywall. And you gotta make sure it's still level at the same time. So I put my level there. And these you should start off slow, because if not, you gotta make sure this is level too. So once you get it in there, make sure everything is level, so that bubble straight in the middle, so it's straight. Hit this last one on the bottom. Lock it on. And put these two on the ends. Now this joint ain't going nowhere. It's up there. Now it's a little off, but you can always twist it, so it's not a big deal. So now it's time to put these on. These are the wings, so this is the part what the TV is gonna hook onto, these bars here. Some people, I used to, like, sometimes I might put them on beforehand, sometimes I put them on after effect, depends. Right now I put it on after effect. So you grab the 4 of these bars, grab your screws. I'll start with these bars here, so I just need 4 of these screws right here for this part. Oh, I dropped one. Alright. So how these work, you just put it together, stick them through, stop it right there in the middle. Like that. Stick them through. Alright, so you can tighten these screws on. I keep this with me because you never know like any situation that should come about. There's different bits on here that I use on the daily basics. I'll make a video on that too. So now that I got these bars on, you can kind of like twist it to get it where you want it to be to even it out. So it was just off a little bit. So now put the wings on it, and then we're pretty much done. You got the finish line. It fell out. So these two here go on the end with these 4 screws. Alright, so put these on. These just pretty much just stick on. Bam. Bam. Bam, bam. So my little drill. Zip these on real quick. Alright. Now it's on. So this is make sure this part here, you can tilt the mount. So if you loosen up, you can tilt the mount forward and back. But for this situation, you want this TV to be flush. So get the right, pretty much tighten it up the way you want it. Alright. Now, this guy has an 85-inch TV. I'm not here, man. I could pick it up, but I'm not picking that up. I ain't gonna lie. I'm not picking it by myself. So I'm gonna get some help pick this TV up and put it on this bar. And I'll get back to you when we get to that part. Alright, well, just quick little cleanup process. A lot of times I save screws and bolts and stuff like that because you never know, I might need them for someone that don't have them for their TV. So if I'm gonna use them for a TV, I'll just save them for the next TV. Never know, just pay it forward. So, cleanup time. Let's take all my trash away. I typically use the box set. It comes in as a trash can so that when the trash goes out, everything just be one quick swoop. Alright. Keep the level out. I'm gonna need that, and I'm gonna need this drill once we get it on the hook. Alright, so I pretty much got the TV up. That's the ending result. So Comcast here, they're gonna go ahead and throw some stuff on. And I'm gonna hook that stuff up so it will still look neat. But that's the process, putting the 85-inch on the wall. Alright, well, Comcast was here, so for most part I took their box and threw it back here so that he won't have the box dangling. So I'm just like finishing up. Try to make it look neat. Make sure that he can reach it. Alright, cool. Most of I'm done. Pack my pack out. Now snap. And then we out. My little zip tie. Yoink. I'm gonna take this little cord that's dangling and zip tied up back here. This cord will be dangling. We want to give him enough little playroom so he can swivel the TV too at the same time. Now I know I could be a little bit neater back here, but it's behind the TV. Depends on my mood. I'm late for an appointment, so I had to get it up. push it back. Might have moved a little bit. Make sure it's still level. Yeah, still level. Alright, good to go. I'm done. Alright.